This is not really my usual content, but the situation in Iran is pretty bad, and I decided to make a video about it. Currently, if I was the government right now in Iran, I'll be booking a one-way ticket to Moscow and sending my money to offshore accounts, just like Bashar al-Assad did around this time last year. Also, I'll make sure this type of photo does not get leaked. Now, Iran now has no internal security, no external security, its proxies are done for, and the US is positioning itself for future further war. How did they get to this point? As a general rule, civilians do not enjoy being bombarded by missiles and other projectiles. The Iranian government is not stupid enough to not understand this. Except it cannot actually do anything about it. Iran has been on the receiving end of many sanctions from very powerful countries, and this really shows in its air force, which still operates F-14 Tomcats. The Iranian air defense is formidable on paper, with it being a mix of Buk M3 systems, S-300, and locally made air defense. However, the enemies in this case turns out to be Israel and the US, who have no trouble going past them. The Iranians have shot down 2 Israeli drones while losing nearly all of its S-300 systems and a majority of its F-14 Tomcats. This is major for Iran, as they are essentially unarmed in front of Israeli strikes, and then when the enemy is posting videos of them flying uncontested over your airspace, you know it is time to put the flies in the bag. Also, when your capital looks like this, and there is nothing being done about it, you can bet your life the civilians who only supported you because you're so-called Iran prowess are going to have second thoughts. Or it sucks for morale when you cannot walk to talk, and when your whole air force sits on the ground while getting destroyed. Now, you might say that Iran hit Israel back, and you would be correct. Iran has brought about 28 deaths, destroyed 2,305 homes, damaged 2 universities and 1 hospital, which are not legitimate targets of war, and forced over 13,000 Israelis to evacuate their homes. In fact, the Israelis suffered very precise rocket fire towards major military bases such as Tel Nof Air Base and other key military installations. The Haifa oil plant was also disabled for 2 weeks, which greatly angered the Americans. Now, I won't go into detail about what happened in terms of photo, but essentially the US came in with B-2s, and the Iranians did not do anything about it. What I will add on is that it's very hard to win the public's approval when you get 10-0'd on your own turf, when 30 generals get killed on the first day, and when your own TV station gets shut down live by Israeli airstrike. This looks terrible for the country, and when your propaganda looks like this, yeah, it's not a great look, is it? Now, to the water shortage. As a common Iranian man, what are you more worried about? A greater Israel? Or the fact that you have no water to drink, no water to wash with, no water for the goats, no water to farm with, and it's only going to get worse. But don't worry, the government said that you should all pray. Now, I do believe that praying works, but there is always a point when one needs to do something instead of relying purely on God. And when your rivers are drying up and the only solution you have is to pray, that's where I would say you're pretty much cooked. Now, if you still have 2 brain cells after playing Roblox Bed was ranked for 10 hours each day, you will understand that it turns out that most people go outside and most people like to drink water. This Iranian taxi driver explains it the best.
آقای رئیس جمهور یعنی صریح ما که بدترین و خوفناکترین حرفا رو داره صریح میزنه به جای اینکه به عنوان رئیس جمهوری باشه که حرفای امیدوار کننده برای این کشوری بزنه که واقعا داریم سالهای بسیار سختی رو در گرانی در تحریم در همه چی داریم به سر میبریم این هیچ
When your whole country is being run like this, it is obvious why people are protesting. Protests have broken out around the country, and the Iranian government can do absolutely nothing. They cannot beat Israel, they cannot suppress the people as their own security forces are actually conscripts, and even worse, there is now a water shortage which affects them as well, which might make them move the capital. There is no way to reform the way out of this. The ally Russia doesn't want to get involved, and the current government seems to be in a very, very bad position. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll be going back to Bedwars video and my usual stuff when I get back. I just got a bit bored. I wanted to make a video to entertain you guys. See ya in the next one.